What is up, people? I am back, and this is the second time I've tried to record this video. The first time I kept going off on a tangent. This time I'm just gonna keep it short and precise. 10 reasons why I love being American. And number one is the freedom of speech, but not the freedom of consequence. You can say whatever you want in America. And wow, there's another one. I just ran into one. But you can say whatever you want in America, but it's not the freedom of consequence. Like, if you say whatever you want in America, you can be assumed that there's going to be another person with a different, with a different opinion than you. There are always going to be people with differing opinions, and that's what I love about America. Is the thing about America is you don't have to be a politic to be able to debate someone. You're allowed to have conflicting views with other people. It's not like other countries where either if you have a conflicting view from a gang, they're going to take you out if you don't fall in line, or if you have conflicting views with your government, they're going to throw you in prison because you don't like your government. In America, they don't care what your opinion is as long as your opinion isn't radical. Like, you don't have a radicalist opinion in America, and well, they won't do anything to you. Now, radicalists, they are completely different, and some radicalists are widely accepted, like Black Lives Matter movement. When they did all their riots, it was radicalism. I'm sorry, that was radicalism. But it's widely accepted in America for some reason. Probably because it's seen as racist to not accept that. Because people are afraid to be called racist, even though it's not racist to think that some cops can be good people. That's not a racist thought. But it's okay. It's America for you. People accept some radicalism and they denounce others. That's how it works. And that's the third one I've ran into.
Simple but effective.
Let's go. But alright, let's move on to the second topic, which is our war-rich history. It's a weird thing to love about America, but I honestly love that we have. Yeah, I'll just keep this SMG. I honestly love that our history is so filled with war. It's kind of weird, but I love it. Like, the fact that our history in America is so filled with war, and we just still came out on top. I mean, the Vietnam War was horrible. It was,
Dan, you there?
but we were there for a reason. All the wars we've ever fought, we always had at least some type of reason. They might not have been the best reasons for, like, oil, or literally just because we want our political stance always accepted. But we've always had a reason, which, I'll give them to it. I will definitely give us to it. We have our reasons, and we try to make them accepted.
No way the army expected this many.
Which I can't hate America for. All right, and now moving on to our third one is our police. Even though I do not agree with them, trust me, I've been racially profiled myself. I'm a big dude. If you ever meet me in real life, I'm 6 foot, 260 pounds. I'm a big dude. The police do not give me a fair shake of it. But what I can say is it's a lot better than other countries. Like, I will 100% stand by that stance that we are better than other. Let's go. That we are 100% better than other countries when it comes to our policing. All right, let's do this.
Throwing a grenade.
But yeah, our policing, yes, our police do make mistakes, but look, everyone makes mistakes, honestly. And compared to other countries, our mistakes aren't as bad. Which I'm allowed to, I would way definitely live with our mistakes as police than other countries' mistakes. Like, let's see, what countries are seen as better policing than us? Let's go for, I think it's I keep forgetting I can shoot that down. I've done this level so many times. Let's go for, I don't know, China. China, they're seen as this great place. Like, everyone's supposed to be friendly and everything. But if you actually look at their numbers, their assaults, like what are they called? Non-harming assaults, like sexual assaults and everything, like molestations crap, are really high, but they don't go after all of them unless they were physically violent. Like, because it takes too much manpower to actually go after all their assaults. So they just ignore some of them. And it might not be the greatest thing to do, but that's what they do. And in America, they will at least go after every case you bring them, which is why the American police might be what's it called? We might be overrun. we do make a lot of mistakes, but I mean, now it's honestly going to be a lot worse because so many cops are quitting now, and that's just going to make it a lot harder for them to just solve any crime, because we have so many police quitting that now they have to prioritize certain crimes, but we're still going to go after the smaller crimes. Even if it takes a while, we're still going to go after them. Even with proof, you still need to be proven without a doubt that you're guilty, or else the case can be thrown away. Like Bill Cosby, they expedited his process, they skipped certain steps, and now he just gets to walk. Dude admitted to it, and now he gets to walk. Because you have to be proven beyond a doubt that you're guilty. And if a lawyer sees that you weren't, and they expedited the process on you, you're kind of, free to go. It's horrible, but that's how it works in America. And moving on from that is, I can make $22.50. I make $22.50 in America. That's how much I make an hour. It's $22.50 an hour. Which, I know the American dollar is weaker now. A lot weaker. Because we're about to go through a set of inflation. But that's still, in most countries, if you made $22.50, you would live like you were somebody. Sorry, sometimes there's an explosive here. You can open up a side door. You can live like you were king in some countries for how much money I make. And that to me is just great. That's beautiful to me. Like the fact that you can just,
It won't stop them, but it'll help.
the fact that you can just make this much money, and in America people still look at you like you're not making enough money. And that is beautiful to me. I love that. I love that in America our
Yeah, it's not your day,
Oh,
creeper.
that was such a nice shot. I think I shot him in the head as he was lunging at me. That was such a nice shot. And that's what I love about America. You can just make a little bit of money,
Auto turret set. Nice to have a little help, huh?
and it still counts as you making, like, not a lot here, but your quality of living is so much better than other countries with the amount of money you make here. Like, people were complaining that they weren't making $15 an hour here. $15 an hour for menial work. And I work in a warehouse. I've been working in a warehouse the last 4 years. I started at $10 an hour, and now I make $22.50.
Coming over the gate.
Like, I love how in America, like, there's an abundance of money if you're willing to work. But let's move on to, in America, oh wow, that was stupid. In America, our entertainment is mostly unmatched. I will give it that. Our entertainment in America is crazy. Like, Hollywood movies in America are sometimes years, like 10, 20 years ahead of like other countries. Boy, die. Alright. Sometimes 10, 20 years in front of other countries. Like, our entertainment is so good. It's kind of like weird when you watch other countries' movies and like you see their CGI or anything and how far behind they are. Like, our CGI is so good, people actually think the moon landing is fake because of it. Because of how good our CGI is now, they think the moon landing was faked about 40, 50 years. How long ago was the moon landing? Was it in the 50s? Was it in the 70s? think it was the 70s, right? So that would mean that about 50 years ago, people think the moon landing was faked 50 years ago because of how good our what's it called?
What do we have here?
Because of how good our CGI is now, which is a weird argument to say the least. Oh wow, I actually got through everything. But yeah,
What dead hazmat?
Somebody shot me.
but yeah, it's kind of crazy. It is so crazy how people can actually think
Thanks.
that
Take care of yourself, Dan. It's about
50
time.
years ago
Over.
is affected, could be affected by how our CGI is now,
Hit the button.
which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny to me. I don't know if it's funny to you guys. You guys might look at America and think we're crazy for it.
No turning
But
back.
but that also goes back to the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You can believe our government controls everything, and some people will actually believe you. It's weird. You can think the government wants to track you through microchips in a what's it called? Through microchips in a vaccine
Keep moving.
when you have a phone. And people will agree with you, like, yeah, they're gonna track us through microchips in the vaccine. No, you're messaging everyone from a phone. Do you not realize how phones work? Like, you have a microchip in that thing. It's literally how they can track you with GPS. Even if you turn your location off, your phone uses Wi-Fi signal that they can just bounce back to wherever you're messaging from, like to whatever satellite you have to connect to. Your phone will just message you through that. Like, they can track you through that from whatever, like there's a way that you can get tracked. Like, they can track your location through your internet signal. If you ever like go on Google and search up a location, it'll ask you, hey, can we know your location? Yeah, and if you say yes, they will literally just track you from where your Wi-Fi is coming from, your IP address,
Hey, I'm reloading.
which is literally a physical address if you use it right. It can show you exactly where someone is. That's how people dox people. But people think the government needs a microchip to track you. No, that's stupid. Hell, my car has a GPS in it just in case it gets stolen.
Shit!
But
Get off my train.
oh man. But let's move on to most of the people in America. This is my sixth point if you want to keep track. And most of the people in America are not as racist as you see on TV or on YouTube videos or anything. That's like a really small percent of America. I'm not gonna say it's less than 1%. But what I am gonna say
Can you get us to Inwood?
is that in America, that's like maybe 5 to 10% of us that are actually like that far over. Like, I'm not gonna say people aren't casually racist. There are people that might not like you, just won't say it. But the people that are outwardly racist, there's not that many of them. There is not that many of them. And it's weird. It's funny, but it is. But that is weird to me that like people actually think that there are that many outwardly racist people that they will go as far to assume that every little thing that happens to them is racist. No, sometimes you're just being an a-hole in public and people don't like that. Like, sometimes people are allowed to call you out on your BS. It's not racism. Why is everyone going down? Alright, we gotta go over here. The heck? Oh, it's downstairs. But okay. And in America, you have the freedom of expression. You can do whatever you want in America. If you want tattoos, you get tattoos. If you want
Grab the supply box.
what's it called? If you want to spend your life trying to be famous, dude, you're allowed to spend your whole life trying to be famous. The government won't force you to do anything you don't want to do. Anything you don't want to love, the government will not force you to do it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it. We allow people to waste their lives doing whatever they want in America, but we won't force them into a job. Which, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. If you're in debt, we
I
won't.
did what you
If
said.
you're in debt, we allow you just to go, hey, I'm sorry, I'm in debt, but I'm not paying it. And that's how bankruptcy works in America. I'm in debt, but I'm not paying it. There are some debts that can't be, you know, they can't be forgiven for obvious reasons. But then there are programs for like some types of debts too, like medical debt. If you have a medical bill and you make less than a certain amount a year, they literally can just forgive it, because most what are they called, hospitals are backed by are backed by government, and so they have government forgiveness on most of their bills. Like, the government will just pay off your bill if you make less than a certain amount of money, which to me is kind of funny. Like,
Found another box. Time to go.
like to me that's kind of just funny. Like, you can be in so much debt in America through your freedom of expression that the government will literally just forgive you for it. They will pay for it. And that to me is like crazy. Just thinking that other governments might be better, like communism and stuff like that might be better, when through capitalism you can get your debt forgiven, because there's an abundance of money in America. So they will literally just forgive your debt because,
I
hey,
did what you said.
All aboard, who's coming aboard?
go then. But yeah,
Oh, we're making too much noise. They're gonna come. We gotta go now.
Do you want to drive? Shut up! They're gonna break the door.
yeah, but, and that is just amazing to me. Like, your freedom of expression can literally be a hindrance to other people, but it's still a freedom of expression, so they can't take that away from you, and that is great. That is oh so great. I have my list over here, so if I'm constantly looking over here, it's because my list is over here. And number 8, just so I can finish this video up because it's already gone for 17 minutes, is our religious diversity. Like, you can, most of the time, you can celebrate any religion in America, and as long as you don't impede anyone else's lifestyle. Like, there are some crazies out there. There are people that just because you subscribe to a certain religion, they will hate you for it, which is stupid to me. Like, I myself am a Christian, but I will never push my ideals onto someone else that doesn't want them, because we have religious diversity in America. You do not have to push your ideals to anyone, and it blows my mind that people do not understand that. But you can be whatever you want, and if you ever talk to me, I don't care. I have many atheist friends. I have many friends that subscribe to other religions, and it's just at this point in my life, I don't care. Like, dude, do you just don't impede me, and you can do whatever you want. And that to me is the greatest point, and that is the greatest like thing about America, is you can do whatever you want. I, and as an American citizen, do not have to care what you do, and that to me is great. Like, there are other countries that have a main religion that runs everything, and there are people that like will report you for not subscribing to that religion, and that to me is beautiful. And that to me is beautiful that in America, we don't have to care. We don't have to report you to any special type of religious police. You can just do what you want as long as it doesn't affect me. But, and number 9, one of the greatest things about being American is our Olympic prowess. Like, here, let me switch from this. Actually, no, I can't. I can't switch from this on the recording. But what I can do, actually, I think I can, but But what I can do is this. I'm going to look up. Let me drag this over here. I'm going to look up how many gold medals. Because what I love about American culture is we are seen as the fat culture. We are seen as the culture of gluttony. But when it comes to the Olympics, where where your country has to prove their athletic prowess, the United States is kind of killing it in medals. Like the closest one to us is Germany, I think. With wait, Olympic medals by country, and let's see, the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is the closest. To us. With us, we have over 1,000, over 1,000 gold medals, and in total we have 2,827 medals. Crazy. Now, Russia is the second most in gold medals, with I think a little bit over 500. But in total medals, we are literally killing everything. In total medals, the United States has 2,827 total medals, and the second place is 883 from the United Kingdom. America is just killing it on that. And our Olympic prowess is unmatched, and it is great to me that we can still be known as the country with the fattest people, but we can also have the Olympic prowess of legend. Like, if you were to say that one country would be leading like that, you would think that they were athletic freaks. But no, it's through our freedom of expression, our religious diversity, or whatever we want to do with our lives, we could do it with. So some people just dedicate their life to sport. They go to the Olympics. They do whatever they want with it because they're allowed to do that. They are allowed to express themselves in any way they want. And I love that. And this last point, I just want to drive home with some personal experience, but other country citizens love us for how great that we can be. Not how great we are, but how great we can be. Because they come from countries that are oppressed. Like, I have a dude from Africa that I work with who is one of the greatest dudes to talk to, have a long conversation with. Because he used to live in a country where they were having a peaceful protest, and the government walked in and gunned everyone down for having a peaceful protest. The protest was peaceful. They were just expressing their views, and the government said, well, we don't like that, so they just gunned everyone down and left. They just didn't want to deal with it, so they shot everyone and left. But it was allowed. Like, the government was allowed to do that because of how tyrannical they can be, how tyrannical they are, how tyrannical they can be. And to me, that's like seeing the difference between that and then 2020 for America, where you could literally just go into the streets, riot and loot, and the cops would barely do anything. That to me was scary. Like, that's a scary, stark difference for how much more freedom people have in America, and we still complain about the freedoms that we have. How I can make $22.50 an hour and still be considered American poor, but to other countries, I'm living so much better. Like, I don't have to share my room into other countries. That is crazy. America is such a beautiful country when you take a step back and look at where else you could have landed. But that's just the beauty of America. You're allowed to voice your opinion like that. You're allowed to try and make this country better in whatever way you want to do it. And the way the country's headed right now is a vocal minority is ruling the non-vocal majority. Because now people are starting to get sick of it, and you can see it if you really look into American lifestyles and everything, how it's literally a vocal minority that is trying to rule the majority. And until the majority really steps up and tells them to stop, it's gonna keep going like this. But like I said, as long as it doesn't affect my life, I don't really care. But if it ever starts affecting my life, then yeah, that's when it's gonna start being a problem for me. But that's life in America. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it went on a little long. I know I kind of went on a little tangent, but hopefully I didn't have any dead air, except for when I was focusing in on the game for some reason. It was on easy difficulty, so I didn't have to, but I'm a gamer. Whenever I see like, hey, I'm getting surrounded, I'm going to focus. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And peace.
And always getting home late, and I feel like I never have time. Like I never have time, no time. But they tell me don't stress, cause that shit, yeah, it's all in your mind. It be all in your mind.